Welcome to today's lesson in physics. Today we are discussing AC voltage applied to a capacitor. As we know, capacitor is an electrical device which is used to store charge. And in simple form, capacitor has got two metal plates separated by a dielectric. In the same way as we say, an inductor opposes a growth or decay of current in it, the capacitor opposes any change in the voltage across its leads. Now let's discuss what happens when a capacitor is connected to a DC supply voltage. Capacitor of capacitance C is connected to a battery whose potential difference is V. Now when the key is closed, current flows in the circuit and the capacitor gets charged. As the capacitor gets charged, its plate, from the diagram we can say that plate A acquires positive charge and plate B acquires negative charge. As the charge on the capacitor plate goes on increasing, the capacitor starts sending current in the opposite direction. That's what happens here. When it starts sending current in the opposite direction, the current in the circuit starts decreasing. Finally, when the capacitor gets fully charged, the current in the circuit becomes zero. That means current sent by the battery is opposed by the current sent by the capacitor. So net current in the circuit becomes zero. So this is a point to be noted, that when the capacitor is connected to a battery, there will be a momentary decrease in the current and finally the current drops to zero. Now when the capacitor is connected to an AC supply, what happens? That's what we are discussing. So consider a capacitor of capacitance C connected to an AC source. AC voltage which is applied across the capacitor plates is V is equal to Vm sine omega t. And we know the potential difference across the capacitor plates is given by V is equal to Q by C. Now we can write that the applied voltage is equal to the potential difference across the capacitor plates, and hence we have the expression V is equal to Q by C, or Q by C is equal to Vm sine omega t. Or Q is equal to C into Vm sine omega t. Now if we know the charge, we can find the current by finding I is equal to dq by dt. That means d by dt of q. So we have I is equal to d by dt of q, that is d by dt of C Vm sine omega t. Now we know d by dt of sine omega t is equal to cos omega t into omega. That means omega cos omega t. Therefore, substituting I is equal to omega into Vmc into cos omega t. That is the expression for current. Now, this equation can be rewritten as I is equal to omega Vmc into sine omega t plus pi by 2. That means cos omega t is replaced by sine omega t plus pi by 2. Again, we can write that constant terms omega Vmc as Im, that is the amplitude of current. And in that expression for Im, we can write it in the form Vm divided by 1 by omega c. That means that omega and c is taken to the denominator. So we have, it is of the form V by R, I is equal to V by R. So in the place of that resistance, we have the term 1 by omega c, which means that 1 by omega c term has the dimensions of resistance, and it is termed as capacitive reactance, and capacitive reactance XC is equal to 1 by omega c. So capacitive reactance XC is inversely proportional to omega, and it is inversely proportional to C also. And as we discussed earlier, omega equal to 2 pi f, where f is the frequency. So in that way also we can write. So the expression for Im is Vm by Xc. Comparing the expressions of voltage and current, we can say that both of them are not in phase. There is a phase difference of pi by 2, and in fact current is leading the voltage by an angle pi by 2. The same thing we can explain with the help of phasor diagram. The phasor diagram is as shown. Now we will obtain the average power dissipation in the circuit. We know instantaneous voltage and current are V equal to Vm sin omega t and I equal to Im cos omega t. Instantaneous power dissipation is Pn is equal to Vm Im cos omega t sin omega t. Therefore, the average power dissipation 1 by t integral 0 to t p in dt. Now we have to substitute for that p in. So we have average power dissipation 1 by t into Vm Im integral 0 to t cos omega t dt. As we discussed in the previous case, we have to replace that cos omega t sin omega t with sin 2 omega t by 2. So our expression becomes Vm Im by 2t integral 0 to t sin 2 omega t dt, and integrating sin 2 omega t will have minus cos 2 omega t by 2 omega between the limits 0 and t. And the same thing we have done in the previous topic. We'll get that term within bracket to be equal to 0, which means that average power dissipation over a cycle when a capacitor is connected to an AC source is 0. Now only this much for today. Thank you.